Okay, so now we're going to be going over radar expectation stuff. So now you can head off if you don't really care about rating, aren't rating, and you don't want to participate in the events. We are done with the general meeting. Thanks for coming to those of you guys. You should still stick around, but yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, so Raider expectations meeting. This is going to be a fun time.
Yay.
You guys can try to get into TeamSpeak. Let me see if anybody left.
User left your channel.
I'm
Yeah, a
here.
few
Yeah,
are
there's
leaving.
there's some people leaving, so go
User
ahead and
joined your
try to
channel.
go on the TeamSpeak.
User was moved to your channel. User joined your channel.
There's one slot left from what I
User
see.
joined your channel.
You got it? Yeah, you got it. Cool.
Is there anyone in Discord who's not in TeamSpeak who
Thank
needs to
Christ.
be? Okay.
I'll mostly be talking anyway, so it's not like they're gonna be missing out. Like, there's not gonna be really questions until the end.
So how long should this take? I don't have too long.
Hopefully 10 minutes. I'm just gonna be
Okay, cool.
talking about just how we run things, and then we'll do an event. We'll do the invasion afterwards.
Cool.
Okay, so yeah, let's get started. The biggest question is, will there be 2 raid groups? How many raid groups do you have? Blah blah blah. As of right now, we are only having 1 raid group. Just because I need to see numbers. I need to see who actually shows up. I need to see who actually consistently shows up. And you know what? If 50 plus people consistently show up every night, then yeah, we will definitely consider forming a second raid group. But if you don't, if you're one of those that just shows up once every couple weeks and still expects to have a raid spot, if we keep 1 raid group, you're gonna fall off the roster. That's I'm just telling you right now. So the gold team right now. So what is the current raid team that we have right now? Okay, so I'm getting a question about when the second raid group would be. I don't have details on that right now. Like I said, it's to be determined. I would have to see. Ideally, our second group would probably be in the weekend to offset the people that can't raid in the weekday. Right now we raid Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 9:15 Eastern. So it would probably be either Saturday, Sunday, or Sunday, Monday. Like I said, I don't have details because it's a hypothetical. So gold team, which is our current team, what are we? We're a semi-hardcore group. So we have the expectations of a more serious group, which includes attendance policy. We do have loot council, and we do have a performance policy with the social atmosphere of a more casual group. So ideally, we try our best to balance out the 2 most efficiently. So progression is a priority, but so are long-lasting friendships. So we're somewhere in between. We are going to be pushing content. Our goal as a group is to reach mythics as soon as possible, whether that be normal heroic, then mythic, or just heroic mythic.
We'll get to that, Tainted.
Yeah, we'll get to that, Tainted. So, okay, we do have required add-ons. So, as of right now, our add-ons are RC Loot Council. That's the way that we distribute our loot. We have a council who votes. Voting is based off of numerous factors, including attendance, performance, role in the raid, and gear score. So, if you're afraid of guild politics and guild bullshit, if there's one thing that I try to do as, a GM, as a assistant raid leader, is I try to be as fair as possible. I will tell you right off the bat why you didn't get that piece of loot, why this other person got it, and another thing is we're absolutely transparent with our decisions. So if, you have a question, we're not going to tell you every single time why we decide something, but if you want to know, you can just ask in raid, hey Zen, why did they get this loot? And I will tell you in raid warning why they got that loot. So yeah. So RC Loot Council is an add-on, DBM is another add-on, and Exorc's raid tool. So those are our 3 core required add-ons. Rusty will put the link for you for those in a second. So another add-on that we will require it for Mythics. So you don't need to use it for normal heroics, but it is highly recommended that you do, is weak auras. So, you know, if you're like, I'm only doing normal heroic, fuck this, I don't want to do it, fine, we're not forcing you to use it, but come Mythics, if you're raiding Mythics with us, this is going to be a required add-on. So, you know, if you wanna use that from the get-go and just get used to it, that's what we would recommend. Rusty, there's a link for an add-on pack that has everything. Yeah, it says add-on pack available.
I don't see it. Oh, I see it. Found it. Ha!
Yeah, so we made a little add-on pack for you guys. That way you don't have to be like, oh, what link? It literally just download this pack, and you should have everything that we require.
How do you access it?
What's up?
How do you access it? I'm sorry.
So this is through the Curse website, so I don't know what kind of add-on program you use, whether you use a Matrix or Curse or you do it by yourself, but yeah, it has all the links for you there.
Oh, it's through Curse. Yeah, that's easy.
Mm-hmm. You have Curse client?
Okay.
There you go.
So, I'm gonna try to speed this up a little bit, because we are running a little lengthy. Okay, so as far as attendance, we do have an attendance policy, and it's going to be 80% for normal and heroic, and 90% for mythics. Some people think this is too low, some people just think this is too high. This is just our compromise between, like I said, being semi-hardcore. We, you know, can't really do mythics if you don't show up 90% of the time. That's just the truth. But we do want to give just a little bit of flexibility, so there you go. That's what we have. 80 for normal heroic, 90 for mythics. If you fall under the attendance requirement, you are going to be put on probation. So you do have a period of time where you can still fix your attendance. So you're going to be given, we haven't decided specifics, but it's in the past been 2 weeks to make it up. Fix your attendance, fix your whatever you're doing. If you're showing up late consistently, then, you know, don't, or stuff like that. You're not letting officers know about your absences, well, you got to do that. If you don't, during that probation period, if you don't increase your percentage, you will probably be placed on an alternate list. That's just a reality. So yeah, absence policies is basically you just need to post. So we changed this from last expansion. So for the people that are, you know, veterans and older raiders, so you must post your absence in the forums. We're not accepting talking to officers anymore or posting on Facebook. On the forums, there is a sub forum called raid absences. Just go ahead and post that there. And ideally, it's going to be 48 hours in advance. That way we, the officers are able to make a roster so we know who actually is coming and how many alternates we need to pull in. This is mainly more for Mythic, since Heroic and Normal is flex, but since our goal is to reach Mythics, we kind of just want to have this in place already. So as far as DPS requirement, we don't know yet. It's way too early to tell. So, you know, we're gonna determine that when we start heroics. As far as the people who are like, oh well, I'm kind of concerned about the DPS requirement, we do work with you. It's not like, you know, hardcore guilds where it's like, oh, you didn't reach this, well, you're dropped, you're on the bench now. Like, no, it's a process where it's, hey, I noticed that you're below the requirement. What's going on? Do you need help? The officers will coach you. We'll try to connect you with somebody who might, be performing better with their class. So if you are actively working with us and actively making effort, then the DPS requirement is not really going to be an issue for you. This is mainly for players who kind of just don't care, and it's evident that they don't care, and they don't care to improve either. That's mainly what that requirement is there for. artifact weapon requirements. It's too early to tell at this point. So, you know, that's to be determined right now. For those of you that have asked me. So, okay. The way that our attendance works is it's not just based off of like shows up, doesn't show up. We do have an attendance point system, and it might confuse you guys at the beginning. Hopefully once we actually start rating, everybody is like kind of has a better idea of how our system works, but I'm gonna just read it out. You probably will be confused. It's okay. We have a doc that will show everybody's attendance points. It's going to be a public document for everybody to see. So you're never gonna have a question about what your percentage is. Everybody can see it. You can see it. And we're going to be making an Excel sheet for people who are like, oh, well, I know I'm going to miss this and this, but I want to know if I'm going to fall below the threshold. What do I do? Well, we're going to have that doc for you, and it's going to have the formula. So it's based off of 5 points. So the max points you can get is 5. So I showed up on time. I signed up on the calendar. Yeah, I showed up. So in total, that would make 60 points total per month that you can get, max. So 5 is if you did everything right. 3 is if you're late or you did not sign up on the calendar. 2 is if you're absent, but you told us with 48 hours notice. 1 is if you're absent and you told us in 2 hours or less from the raid time, and a -1 is if you are a no-call and a no-show. So you don't let us know that you're absent, you don't say anything, you don't show up, that sort of thing. So it's actually a negative point, so it'll actually hurt you much more than just getting a partial credit will. So the points are going to be accumulated through the tiers, so we don't reset them. So the week that you start rating is the week that you start getting the points, and each point is based off of the max amount that you can get. That's how your percentage works. So by the time we get to mythics, that's the only time that our points are going to reset. Everybody's going to have a clean slate. So normal, if we do normal and heroic, it'll still be the same amount of points. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys as far as rating goes. That's all the details I can come up with. Does anybody have questions?
Yes, for the new people who might not know this, in a case of emergency for the absences, would that still count against you?
Alright, one second.
Pyronus, hang on 1 second. We have a question in TeamSpeak. Pyronus, give me 1 second.
Go ahead, Tainted.
For the new people who may not know, if you have an emergency, like let's say a family member is hospitalized or something, would that still count against you in terms of the thing if it's like just a pure set emergency?
So you're still, if you let us know in advance, you're still getting points. That's kind of how, that's why our system's a little wonky. That's why it's like 5, 3, 2, 1, -1. It's, we calculated it so it won't, you know, you're not going to get 100% attendance, but you're also not going to be like fucked, if that makes sense. So, you know, if you know 48 hours in advance, you're still getting 2 points compared to the person who just doesn't call, doesn't show up. If you're going to be taking an extended break, that your points are not going to be counted. If you tell me, hey, I'm not going to be raiding for 3 months, sorry. Well, okay, well you're off the points until you come back. And if there's room then yeah, we'll add you. If there isn't, well, you can either be an alternate and work your way up, or, you know. But yeah, if you're doing like an extended leave due to an emergency, we're not just gonna be like, fuck you, you can't raid forever. Like, you work yourself back up. There's always room to be a core player with us. It's not just like, we're elite, fuck everybody else, sort of thing. That's why we have a system in place, because otherwise I would just be like, you get X amount of absences, blah blah blah. This is kind of a system that is trying to promote people just being responsible with their absences.
Well, I think it's very fair because, you know, the rules are there to help make being in the guild and raiding with the guild an enjoyable experience for the majority of people. And, you know, if you have people who aren't considerate, that hurts everyone else if they're depending on them. So it's totally fair to have rules like that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like especially for mythics, even when just one person doesn't show up, you can't raid. So exactly what you said. It's there to make it better for everyone.
Okay, Pyronus had a question. Sorry we cut you off, buddy. There were two people talking at once.
User joined your channel. User joined your channel.
So this is going to be an ongoing thing. So if at any point in time you go under the threshold, you're technically put on probation. There might be people that at the beginning don't have the best attendance and then end up having a better attendance later. Yeah, it is. I will admit that with the system we have, it'll be a little more strict the less you raid, if that makes sense. So if you... Yeah, so if you say you've been raiding with us 2 weeks and you already missed 3 of those raids, that's already going to put you much lower than if you had raided with us for 5 months and you missed 2 raids. If that makes sense. And I think it should be that way, because if you're a new player and you're already, showing signs of just being inconsistent, unreliable, yeah, it should count more against you. Because you're taking a spot from somebody who might be a veteran, if that makes sense. I won't be promoting anybody for at least a month and after the raids start. But that's just a personal preference. I don't really want to promote anybody that new already in the first place. Okay. I don't know who was speaking. Sorry, who was it?
It's Pyronus.
Oh, okay, perfect. You sound different on Discord, by the way. Okay. Okay, does anybody have any more questions before we go do invasions?
Eldoriel does.
What's up?
Now, I'm currently unemployed, but if I end up having a schedule in the future that conflicts with the Mythics Plus group that I'm in, who do I talk to about that?
Please talk to Sanstra. I'm running the Mythic Plus groups, yes. So, if you can't be part of your Mythic Plus group, if you know now, that's great, let me know. If you want to start off in that group, and then you find out you have, a job that conflicts with that, if I can switch you with somebody else, I'll try to do that. If not, then you can just be an alternate in that group or whatever. But I will be running the groups and trying to do, the best I can to coordinate and try to get everyone involved that I can.
Okay, any more questions relating to raid? Any concerns?
Yeah, I have a quick one, Zen.
What's up?
Will you be releasing, actual roster at some point of who's gonna be, tanking and healing, considering those are kind of more limited spots, that kind of thing?
Tanks and healers are already full, and they've been full since ever. I mean, you're a tank.
Yeah,
Is
okay,
that
I
your
was just
question?
making sure, because I was
Okay.
an alternate for a while, so I just want to make sure I'm all set.
Okay, so I had a whisper. If you are only an alternate, how does that work? Right now we're trying to figure out a system for you. So attendance is still gonna be counted for you guys. But we're trying to figure out a way that we're either gonna do a rotating system. I don't have a set system for you guys yet, but you will you will be able to raid. That's what I'm trying to say. You will be able to raid. If you're one of those people who are just like, I really can't commit, but I still want the experience, don't worry. We're gonna have a separate meeting for you guys in the future once we have everything solidified.
Yeah, I just had a question about so for when we get starting with raiding, like when are we just gonna like queue up like that night, say, all right, who's ready here for that night, or are we just gonna like start as we get closer to raid times? Are we gonna start making groups, or like seeing who's around?
Sorry, I think your mic cut out or something. I did not hear the full question. Can you repeat? Can you repeat
Oh,
that?
sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
It's just a question about like how when we get closer to when raids are opening, because they don't open right away, are we gonna start looking around and seeing like, because for like melee DPS or range DPS, are we gonna start looking to see are we gonna start looking to maybe create a roster at that point?
Yeah, so right now, I can't tell you who's gonna show up and who isn't, because if just as a recruiter of several years, like what people say they're gonna raid doesn't mean that they're actually gonna end up raiding, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it definitely, like, by the second week we'll have a set roster.
Okay.
But as of now, I can't tell you.
So I have a question. If I'm interested in raiding, is there like a sign up?
Hang on, we have people in both. Can TeamSpeak go first?
Sorry, can you repeat the question? Somebody was speaking in Discord.
Oh, sorry. If we're interested in raiding, is there like a sign up that we have to do?
Okay, so the question was, if we're interested in raiding, is there a sign up that we have to do? So for the people already on the roster, they had a Google Doc that they had to fill out by today, as well as show up to the meeting. If you are new, just fill out a guild application. If you already have filled out one and it's been a long time, have you? I think you have, haven't you?
I filled out the Google Doc, so I think I'm good.
Okay, yeah, you're fine then. If you
Cool,
filled out
thanks.
the Google Doc, yeah, you're good. All right, Connectia, what's your question? Okay, so her question is about World PvP. What's up? Okay, so she asked if we have an officer for World PvP and if we're going to be seeing more large scale and small scale in the future. I'm currently looking for one. That's what the PvP officer is going to entail. It's going to entail World PvP. As of right now, we don't have anybody, but I definitely want us to involve ourselves both in large and small scale for Legion. Alright, I think since the hour mark has passed, I'm gonna just be closing off the floor for questions. If you do have any additional questions, I will be on after the event, so feel free to contact me then. But okay, so it's time to do some invasions! Yay!